Are you prepared for the end of the US dollar? Saudi Arabia has officially joined a central bank digital currency project that does not trade in US dollars. As a quick reminder, Saudi Arabia is essential to the United States dollar's strength. After the US went off the gold standard and officially delinked from gold in 1972, we made an agreement with oil-producing countries that they would only price their oil in US dollars. Since there's always demand for US dollars, we can create as many as we want without really having to feel the consequences. But this is concerning because this represents a step closer towards moving away from USD, something that they've been vocal about now, especially over the last year. Should they really start pricing oil in other currencies, there would be far less reasons for other countries to hold on to US dollars, therefore less countries would want our debt, therefore we would see rapid inflation and ultimately maybe even a currency reset. It's too soon to tell, but all eyes are on Saudi Arabia and what they're going to do next. Are you prepared for the end of the US dollar? Saudi Arabia has
All right, I'm going to give all praises, glory, honor, and power to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, those who were willing who I learned this truth from. And salutations to the brothers stiffly pushing this one truth in all sincerity and diligence, risking both your lives and freedoms to do so. And shalom to the rest of the elect as we all await the second Exodus coming quickly by the hands of Lord Yahweh Shah. All right, this your brother Rakaga Bar. And at the end of the day, we know that the end of the U.S. dollar and that a currency reset is upon us, man. This is what we've been warning you about time and time again. All right. And we're at that point to where these nations have moved away from the dollar, and it's become quite evident what's about to take place. And that's why she kind of ended the video saying, you know, pretty much are we going to see a pretty much hyperinflation, OK, in the currency reset, which we know the answer to that, man. OK, we know that the reason these nations have been moving away from fiat and moving towards CBDCs is because it's all about design. Okay, they've set up this new, this new monetary system, and they're doing away with the old one, man. So it's pretty much a power shift from the West, okay, the American dollar, to the East. Okay, that's why you have BRICS established and all of their dozens of members that have joined as of late. And apparently we know that come October, the information's went out that, and they went into this on redacted, but the information went out that, BRICS is dropping the dollar come October. Okay. BRICS is dropping the dollar come October. And there's another video I want to play for you in a minute, which I'll play the video and then, I'll go into it because essentially they're saying that the Saudis are no longer going to renew their contract, their oil contract that they signed back in the 70s with America, man. Now, when you try to, search the internet to try to find the contract, and the terms of the contract or whatever, you can't find it, man. Like I searched all over the internet, but there's a lot of videos going out, which, like I said, I can't necessarily confirm it at this point. It's kind of speculation, but, it makes sense, okay, when you look at the fact that the Saudis are part of BRICS, okay. And I'm going to go into this information here, the fact that they're joining the Bank of International Settlements and China-led central bank digital currency project. See, to where they're not going to be using the U.S. dollar. So it lines up with what's actually playing out. Okay, so, if it's true, all right, which they're throwing a date out of June 9th, which, we don't really give in the dates, but they're saying that that's when that contract between the Saudis and America, all right, that petrodollar contract is supposed to expire, man. And if that's the case, then we know that this collapse is coming sooner than we think. All right, but I'm going to play this video.
Saudi Arabia.
I'm going to play this video. And like I said, I can't really confirm it, but there's a lot of information going into it. OK, or there's a lot. All right. Can't really confirm it, but there's a lot of people that are pretty much reporting on this.
Saudi Arabia is not renewing the 50-year petrodollar agreement with the United States, and it expires on June 9th, 2024. That's in 5 days. Yeah, so we're talking about BRICS. Yeah, and Sovereign Matt says that explains why the BRICS countries are buying up all the gold in recent months. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, the petrodollar was established in 1974, 3 years after the U.S. abandoned the gold standard. Under the petrodollar agreement, Saudi Arabia agreed to sell oil exclusively in U.S. dollars in exchange for U.S. military security and economic development assistance. Now you know why gold is moving. So yeah, and these BRICS countries are getting away from the U.S. dollar. Saudi Arabia is not renewing the 50-year.
You see, so it says Saudi Arabia is not renewing a 50-year petrodollar agreement with the U.S. So I believe it was signed in like 74 or something along around there with Nixon. 71, 74 around there. So like I said, you can't really find this the terms of that agreement. But like I said, if this is true, then we know that the dollar's through. And it seems like it's adding up for the simple fact that we see what's been taking place with BRICS, okay? And, you know, their whole agenda to move everybody away from the dollar and all the countries that have joined them, in the simple fact that the Saudis have now joined this program, which I'm about to read into this article. Okay, this is by Reuters. It says Saudi Arabia joins Bank of International Settlement and China-led central bank digital currency project. So, see, while a lot of you people out there thought that this thing was going to be on the backbone of crypto and Ripple and XRP, well, pay attention to what all these countries are doing, man. They're all releasing central bank digital currencies, and they're joining these programs. So we know the U.S. is going to follow suit. Okay, we know we don't know if they're going to, come out with their digital dollar and, say it's backed by gold and silver. We don't really know. Okay, that would be the smart thing to do. But at the end of the day, we see exactly what's about to take place, man. Lord willing, in the short coming months. It says, let's read a bit. It says, Saudi Arabia has joined a China-dominated central bank digital currency cross-border trial. It says, and what could be another step towards less of the world's oil trade being done in U.S. dollars. Okay. It says the move announced by the Bank for International Settlements on Wednesday will see Saudi central bank become a full participant of Project M-Bridge, a collaboration launched in 2021 between the central banks of China, Hong Kong, Thailand, and the United Arab Emirates. Okay. It says the Bank of International Settlements, a global central bank umbrella organization which oversees the project, also announced that M-Bridge has reached minimum viable product stage, meaning it would move beyond the prototype phase. So it looked like they launching this shit. Okay, it's about to go green. It says roughly 135 countries and currency unions representing 98% of global GDP are exploring central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Wow, you see that? So this number has been growing drastically over the years, and it's no coincidence that roughly 135 countries, okay, and currency unions representing 98% of global GDP, okay, are exploring central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. So that clearly shows you what the direction that everything has been moving towards, man. If 98% if all these countries, 135 representing 98% of global GDP, are going to be using central bank digital currencies, then what does that tell you, man? This is the new thing. That's why we've been warning you people, warning you. A reset is coming. The dollar is going to collapse. It's moving from the west to the east. And the only thing that's backing the U.S. dollar now that the Saudis is pretty much done with this place is what? The military. That's why they're going to war. That's why all you hear about all this shit with Russia and NATO and, U.S. and China, Taiwan. And that's why you're hearing all this, man, because it's just time for them to go ahead and go to war behind it at this point. But the new technologies they use make cross-border movement both technically challenging and politically sensitive. Yeah, okay, let's skip around a bit. It says the most advanced cross-border CBDC project just added a major G20 economy and the largest oil exporter in the world. See, which is, the Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia no longer is going to be the petrodollar is out of here, man. And like I said, if this information is true, as far as the petrodollar agreement ending on June 9th, which I don't, like I said, I don't really give in the dates, but this is what they're floating around. And like I said, you can't find the agreement, the terms of it. But if that's the case, then hyperinflation and a currency reset is coming way sooner than you people think, man. Which is still, it's already taking place. It's already pretty much underway. All right. It says the most advanced cross-border CBDC project just added a major G20 economy and the largest oil exporter in the world. So that pretty much tells you what's about to happen, man. Said Josh Lipsky, who runs a global CBDC tracker at the U.S.-based Atlantic Council. This means in the coming year, singular, okay, even say coming years, they said coming year, you can expect to see a scaling up of commodity settlement on the platform outside of dollars. Something that was already underway between China and Saudi Arabia, but now has new technology behind it. So they were already doing it. They were already buying and selling, trading oil between each other. All right, not using the U.S. dollar, but now they're it's going to be using the central bank digital currency, man. It says, let's read that again, man, because this is it. It says this means in the coming year, you can expect to see a scaling up of commodity settlement on the platform outside of dollars, man. Meaning if they not using the dollar no more, Babylon the Great America, hey, you in for a rude fucking awakening, man. All this shit you people been able to get at these low prices, man, everything is about the 10x. Everything's about the skyrocket, man. Because this shit is happening. This is happening right now, man. See, it says scaling up of commodity settlement on the platform outside of dollars, something that was already underway between China and Saudi Arabia, but now has new technology behind it. Yeah, the CBDC program that they're running. See, which shows you exactly that micro C-HIP is right around the corner. It's right here, man. It's here. It's right here. We already know they got it. They've had it for years. You know, they're just waiting for the perfect crisis, black swan event. All right, to take out this banking system and to introduce it. That's why it was a few days ago. I believe sometime this week you had the stock market drop down near 99%. Okay, the New York Stock Exchange, Berkshire Hathaway, man, look it up. That motherfucker dropped down near 99%. Okay, and I don't even know what their explanation for it was, what happened, but a lot of the stocks dropped down near 99%, man. And that's when they went out and said, look, 63 banks. The FDIC went out and said, yeah, 63 banks are about to collapse too. So this reset is about to happen, man, which is already happening. But yeah, man, it says the Mbridge transactions can use the code China's yuan, which is their digital yuan, is built on. That code is also available to the project's 26 other observing members. See, they're doing all this shit underneath you people's noses, man. Sitting there using these digital currencies and you people don't even fucking notice it. All right. It says observing members that include the likes of the New York branch of the Federal Reserve, the International Monetary Fund, and European Central Bank. Okay. All right. It says the Bank of International Settlements also said the Mbridge platform is now compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine, a piece of software that forms the backbone of the network used by Ether cryptocurrency. This allows it to be a test bed. Supporters of the CBDC said it would modernize payment with new functionality and provide an alternative to physical cash, which seems in terminal decline. Cash is in decline, man. Yeah, cash is no longer king. And this is it. But questions remain why they represent an advance with barely an uptake in countries such as Nigeria that have already adopted them, and both political and public pushback in some countries amid fears they could enable government snooping. Yeah, we know this is the B system, though. So that's exactly what it's all about. You see, so it says, as well as dominating the Mbridge project, China is carrying out the world's largest domestic CBDC pilot, which now reaches 260 million people and covers 200 scenarios from e-commerce to government stimulus payments. Wow. So you see how many people are already pretty much been affected with the digital currencies, man. And this is just China. Okay. It says China is carrying out the world's largest domestic CBDC pilot, which now reaches 260 million people and covers 200 scenarios from e-commerce to government stimulus payments. And it was one of them countries or cities over there in China. I remember it was a couple years ago, I read into it. They went out that they were going to be receiving their the different government employees or whatever were going to be receiving their payment in the form of digital currency, man. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick, man, because this thing has really been underway for a while now. Give me one moment. I'm going to try to, because this is what's coming to you people, man. Let's see here. Okay, and I'm not about to grab every single article, but you clearly see it says more Chinese government employees will be paid in digital yuan. China city public servants to receive digital yuan. See, and this was last year. China Changshu city to pay civil servant salaries in digital yuan. So people already getting paid with digital currencies and shit, man. So, and now that Saudi Arabia, which produces the largest oil exporter, is joining this CBDC digital currency program, that shows you exactly what's about to happen to the dollar, man. It's evident at this point. It says other big emerging economies, including India, which are part of BRICS, Brazil, and Russia, all BRICS members, also plan to launch digital currencies in the next 1 or 2 years, which, Lord willing, they probably gonna launch them bitches, sooner. But that's right around the corner, man. I mean, this year is pretty much over. It says while the ECB, the European Central Bank, has begun work on a digital pilot ahead of a possible launch in 2028, which the EU, they pretty much, the information went out that their banks, their member banks, all of their member countries had to allow for instant payment transfers and shit. Okay, come January 1st of 2025. So they say it's a program 2028 or whatever, but they really rushing it, man. It says in stark contrast, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill banning the Federal Reserve from creating a digital dollar, although it still needs to pass a vote in the Senate to become a law. So y'all remember that. They just did that. They and it's the controlled opposition at work. They passed a bill banning the Federal Reserve from creating a digital dollar. But if you read into it, it was pretty much unless Congress, I believe, unless Congress votes to put it into law. See. So you people instantly, we're not going to have a digital dollar, man. Well, what the hell do you think is going to happen? You think America's just going to want to lose on a world stage? All right. If they ain't got nothing else to do, man, if they know people ain't using the dollar, what else can they do? And knowing this place is trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, they're going to have to play along, man. They're going to have to play along, which we know this company, America, they're not against what the elite bankers want. They're right on board with it. So, yeah, that's pretty much the point, though, man. So this shit is out of here. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, DTA, Wah Baba Ball, Shalom.